correspondent Charlotte Dubenskij has been to the capital, Oslo, to find out more about how it works and if the UK could follow suit.
When it comes to the EU, Norway is often seen as having a sweet deal. It has access to the rich single market, yet it remains separate as a non-member. But some businesses say that arrangement has left them a little charred.
My experience is that Norway is not on the list of countries they make deliveries for. It seems like the only countries they are prepared to make deliveries for are inside the EU. I normally order to an address in Sweden, and then I need to drive and pick it up.
Meaning small enterprises like this one are also left picking up the costs involved. And it's not the only financial burden.
Norway pays a lot of money into the EU and doesn't have a voice within the EU to influence laws and regulations that they have to abide by. And I think that's definitely a negative.
Norway's recent contributions to the EU are worth more than $700 million. Some of that money is invested back in the country, but the net contribution is still around $118 for every Norwegian. When you compare that to the UK, which pays around $150 per person, it's not a substantial difference. To access the single market, Norway has to allow EU citizens to pass freely through its borders, so it doesn't have control over immigration. That was seen as a key reason why many in the UK decided to vote leave. Another was sovereignty, again something Norwegians can relate to. 20 years ago, they rejected for a second time the idea of becoming a fully fledged member. Sovereignty was the top reason most people said no. So under the current relationship, has the country retained it?
Overall, I don't think so. In formal terms, yes, but the arrangement is such that EU legislation is almost directly implemented in Norway. So the facts on the ground are very different from the formal retention of sovereignty. So it's almost like an illusion to say that you are a sovereign in this sense, at least in terms of having control of its own decisions.
Norway takes on board about 3/4 of the legislation created in the EU, which may be unpalatable for those in the UK who ticked the leave box. But the proof of whether the Norwegian model will serve as one for the UK will, as ever, be in the pudding. Charlotte Dubenskij, TRT World, Oslo.